Shalom, friends. I just wanted to give you a brief, interesting update we have here in the state of Idaho. So apparently, the bar that Idaho gubernatorial candidate Mark Fitzpatrick owns experienced an act of vandalism today. Now, for those of you who watched my interview with Mr. Fitzpatrick, you know that while we were actually doing this interview, a radical leftist actually came to his place, threatened his place of business, and also threatened him. And this is yet another example of leftist aggression. I don't know if you go as far as to call vandalism violence. They didn't break anything, but nevertheless, leftist aggression certainly towards a Idaho gubernatorial candidate and just towards Republicans in general. And it's interesting, you know, I was just looking through on my Facebook feed, seeing the Daily Wire. I haven't read anything about this yet, so I don't know the details. But the Daily Wire reporting on a Pennsylvania state senator candidate for the Democratic Party who was actually threatening the president's life, or more accurately, telling his followers to threaten the president's life. And then there has also been reports of shots outside of the White House today, which again, we're not really certain of the details on. Until we get more information on some of those details, I won't speculate too much, but at the very least, what I will say is this is just once again part of this very troubling pattern, both on local levels with guys like Mark and this Pennsylvania state senator, and on national levels with attempts to assassinate the president, or at least so it seems. There is a troubling pattern of leftist violence that is growing stronger and stronger as the days go on. And don't listen to groups like the Anti-Defamation League and people like that who are telling you that actually, no, it's really a both sides issue. Right-wing violence even exceeds left-wing violence. Because as we've already demonstrated, check out the video in the description below, they just don't count leftist violence. So of course you can say that the numbers indicate leftist violence is actually lower than right-wing violence if you just don't count leftist violence. If you don't count the Summer of Love, or the attempted assassination of Donald Trump, or the assassination of Brian Thompson, or the attack on Josh Shapiro's house, right, and so on and so forth. If you just don't count these things, the Covenant shooting, the Church of the Annunciation shooting, if you just don't count these things as leftist violence, even though they plainly and deliberately say they are doing these things for leftist political purposes, well then, yeah, of course you can say that there's not very much leftist violence, right? But here we're seeing, in my own state, as well as on a national level, 3 events in one day. An attempted assassination of Donald Trump, at least so it seems, a person arrested for advocating the assassination of Donald Trump, who's actually running for Senate, and somebody vandalizing a Republican gubernatorial candidate's place of business. The left wing is just simply violent, friends. The left wing is just simply violent. And we as a nation need to crack down hard on leftist violence. I am talking about with force of law. I am talking about with guns. It's the only way we're going to get out of this, friends, at least in my opinion.